Sometimes it feels surreal, sitting alone in my room, talking to a camera, and knowing that I'm not insane. That somewhere out there are 18 million people who chose to tune in and hear what I have to say. I don't really feel that number on a day-to-day basis because every morning is normal. It's chaos, coffee, kids. But then I walk somewhere in Dubai or in Silicon Valley or in my hometown, St. Petersburg, and somebody comes up to me and says, "Thank you so much, Marina. You helped me discover my voice." And this is when I realize it's not about the number of followers or the fame. It's about helping people discover themselves. I was born and raised in Russia, and I had this one big, amazing dream. I wanted to study abroad. So one day, I decided I was going to study in the US. And when I shared this brilliant idea with my parents, their immediate answer was, no, unaffordable. You can't do it. So I decided to go another route. I started a company helping people study abroad. And one day, when I was helping one of our students, I stumbled upon a program called Opportunity USA, which basically paid for all my tests and all my admission fees and helped me apply to universities with full financial aid. And during that process, I discovered a platform called YouTube, which became my free tutor. I prepared for GMAT with that platform, I prepared for my essays, and for the whole admission process. And then I realized something. I wanted to give back to that platform, so I posted my first ever video describing my experience taking GMAT. It got around 300 views back then, but that didn't matter. What mattered is that I started documenting my journey and sharing my voice. A few weeks later, something magical happened. Our company got accepted to one of the top accelerators in Silicon Valley back then called 500 Startups. So we moved here, and when you arrive in the US, you realize you need a car. We didn't have a lot of money, and the only decent car we could afford was a retired police interceptor off Craigslist for $2,700. And of course, I documented the process of buying that car, and that was my first viral hit. But when people start noticing you, they start criticizing. That was the first time I actually started questioning my visibility because I was reading comments like, "Her smile is fake. Why is she so positive? Is she under influence?" And I was like, okay, lesson learned. Visibility means vulnerability. The second time I almost lost my voice was when I was in a very vulnerable state. I was pregnant with my second daughter. The hormones were doing their thing. The haters were doing their thing as well. Somebody posted a video that my company is fake, that I slept with investors to raise money, and that I bought Chinese bots to create traffic on our website. My immediate instinct, fight back. This is my passion. This is what I was building for years. Like, how can you say these things about what I'm building? And I started wrestling, but then I realized when you wrestle with haters, you lose yourself. And the second lesson that I learned was that maintaining your voice doesn't mean fighting back. It sometimes means just choosing when and where to speak. Luckily, back then, I already had 3 different channels on YouTube, so I switched my attention to a different channel. And the third time I almost lost my voice was when I was winning. And I was winning big. My Lingua Marina channel, a channel where I talk about speaking English, was getting millions of views. 8 million people tuned in to learn English with me. And I was very upfront about not being a native speaker. I was born and raised in Russia. I moved to the US when I was 25 years old. And I started working on my American accent because I really wanted to blend in. So that channel are my tips and tricks on sounding more American, understanding the idioms, understanding American culture. And then something magical happened. I got the Best Creator in Education award during Cannes Film Festival. And the week that I got the award, somebody posted a video compilation of all the mistakes I ever made in English. Every grammar mistake, every mispronounced word, every slip. For me, language is not words and grammar. For me, language is my identity. It is my passion. It is why I am here. So I couldn't apply any of the rules that I've learned. I honestly didn't know what to do. But then I remembered I'm an entrepreneur. When you're an entrepreneur, when you get feedback, you don't give it color. It's not black or white, it's data. How do you act on that data to become better? So I hired a native speaker who till this day checks every single video that goes live on that channel. And if I make a mistake, we correct it, I learn. And if it's my accent, if it's my personality showing through, we let it be. Because I realized that maintaining your voice, it's not about being perfect. It's about refusing to disappear. And then one morning, I wake up and I get a really weird email. Marina, do you want to raise money for your creator company? My instant reaction was, who does that? The reply, well, you'd be the first. After a lot of deliberation, because it was the first deal of its kind, after 6 months of back and forth with the legal team, I finally signed the deal. And the day we signed that deal changed the creator economy because people started seeing creators not just as people who dance in front of cameras, they started seeing us as entrepreneurs, as business people, as change makers, as someone who's talking to the whole generation. And this is where it hit me again. You don't just find your voice, you build it day by day, fall after fall. And when I asked my investors, why out of all the creators you selected me? And they told me, Marina, it's obvious. You've been doing this for 7 years. The week you had your first baby, you had 3 videos go up on your channels. The same thing happened the week you had your second baby. 3 videos went up on your channels and you were live on Instagram. I was like, wow, consistency really pays off. Through all these ups and downs, all the falls and all the wins, my family was with me, keeping me grounded, reminded me that my voice is not about the numbers. It's about the values I translate. And so life is going to happen to you. You're going to be loved. You're going to be hated. Sometimes you just get unnoticed. But the most important thing is what you do after that. So learn from the critics, ignore the noise, love your audience, but most important, tell your story. The world needs to hear it. Thank you so much.